Hey there, please allow me to ask you one simple question, right? When you are collecting items to complete a quest in old school RuneScape, is it true that to catch those items is your real test? And to train those items is your cause? Certainly this must be the case for someone out there. Maybe, possibly, don't really know, and don't really care. Though I do really care, by mere fact of talking about it. Indeed. Just talking about something, right? Like, listen, you ever talk about something and you legit zero care about it, right? You say like, hold on a second, little Jimmy over there. I got some care in my pocket for what I have about this topic. And then, you turn your pocket inside out and there was nothing in it, baby. You know what I'm talking about there. Note a care in the world. That is correct. If you think you would have a care in the world about a specific thing, then think again. Listen, Rag and Bone Man, I'm a Rag and Bone fan of the quest. Yes, indeed. It has introduced me to a wealth of a variety of monster types in the world of Galanor. And for that reason, I commend thee, quest maker. If that is your real name, and I do suspect that it is. But alas, if it is not, then that is a problem for neither here nor there. It is simply more of a problem for the unicorn, now that, of course, the unicorn is, deceased. And I have taken his horn. Wait, have I? I left his horn on the ground. I planted his horn in the mine. Now, the copper and tin mine, southeast of Varrock. This mine will eventually have a unicorn horn tree grow in the middle of it. And is that a problem? Of course not. People will bring axes for miles to get that unicorn horn tree wood. They can then fletch it into a unicorn horn bow. And the unicorn horn bow is one of the best bows in the game, if not the best, for the price. Of course, the price being a little bit of time to walk down into the mine. And your soul. But it is worth it for the power, the sheer augmentation of the unicorn horn bow. And do not even get me started about the unicorn horn arrow. Nor the unicorn horn crossbow. The unicorn horn staff of the dead and the living and the souls that are stuck in purgatory, I suppose. It is nothing there, it is nothing, it is neither here nor there. Listen, earth runes from a goblin? What a deal. But I'm gonna leave them there so that they grow into an earth rune tree. Because one day I plan to come back here, and I will harvest from the earth rune tree. Yes indeed. The fruits of my labor shall be collected. In due time. Do not worry, do not fear. This is the reality of the situation in which we live. The situation in which we live, of course, being reality itself. So this is the reality of reality, which sort of applies to everything within reality, which is everything that we know. Conceptually? No. Come on. Not at all. It doesn't cover everything conceptually. It just covers reality. And your mind can abstract ideas outside of reality. For example, the idea in mathematics of varying degrees of infinity. Yes, indeed. As far as we are concerned, whether or not a thing can come out of a hole and grab your noggin and pull your hat off, it's neither here nor there. But infinity, anything, does it exist? That is the question. Does it have an answer? Probably. I just don't know it. Got myself again. Ignorance is bliss. We're really getting on this one, Jim. Good job. Who's Jim, by the way? You keep talking about Jim. Hey, I'm talking about anybody. I'm talking Vinegar, by the way. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, listen. We go into his wine shop, and what do we find? We find number 1, jugs. Number 2, bottles. And number 3, the souls of the many. So listen, this guy makes wine, and when he fails horribly, when literally he just messes up and creates a bad wine, a product that cannot be sold at all. Nobody wants it. You know what he does? He sells it. He renames it, he calls it vinegar, and he sells it. I mean, that's entrepreneurialism at its best. Entrepreneurialism. How's that for a word? You like that one? Guess what? We got a lot more where that came from in the new Dakota Meatballs Dictionary. That's right. Are you tired of using English? Yeah, are you sick of regular words that people know? Get the Dakota Meatballs Dictionary. That's right. For the low, low cost of a bunch of money. A ton of money. So much more money than ever thought humanly possible that you will have to extend your hand infinitely far into your pocket in order to exchange for the dictionary what you have within your grasp. But indeed, it is worth it. Trust me on this one. Okay, don't actually do because, again, that item does not exist right now. But maybe one day it will, dude, you know? I've talked about varying degrees of Dakota and Dakota Meatballs merchandise here throughout these videos. Maybe as a joke one day, each of them will actually get made into a product in the Dakota Meatballs store, which is, again, something that does not exist right now. But maybe, you know, just to keep up with the times, maybe one day, it will! But that day is not today. Listen, you gotta think about the reality of the situation at hand, okay? And the reality is that you put merch into a store, and whose job is it to catch this merch, you know? Like, to catch this merch is the real test. But to train this merch, that is the real cause. And that's what I think people, as a whole, as a community, have failed to see so far. See, I'm talking like it's really, really meaningful when deep down inside, utter nonsense at this point in time. Complete and utter nonsense. But you know what? That's the point. Again, going down the meaningful route, even though nonsense. But that is the point. Listen. We only have so much time in this world. We should spend it wisely. We only have so much cash money in this world, yo. But we should spend that wisely as well. Yes. Good job, little Jimathan. You're really coming through on the logic of this one. I'm very proud of you. You're really keeping it together in a way that I've never seen and or heard and or spoken and or heard spoken of. That's right, you thought I was stuck on a word. No, I was just pulling from the Dakota Meatballs Dictionary. That's right, buy it now for freaking a huge lump sum of cash, dude. You know what I'm talking about? Listen, I have 60,925 gold pieces in my inventory, okay? These are gold coins, they weigh about 1 ounce each, and that's just a fact of nature. But here's a fact of life. Own the Dakota Meatballs Dictionary now for 60,925 1-ounce gold pieces IRL. That's the price tag. That's what am I gonna say? Listen, there's over 7 billion people in the world. Okay? One of them is gonna want it, you know? And at that point it just comes down to making sure that the guy who wants it has within the confines of his poquetas, which I hope means pockets. Don't really know. It does mean pockets in the Dakota Meatballs Dictionary. Again, you really got to get this item, this merch that again does not exist, but you really got to get it to keep up with the times here. Okay, it doesn't. How can you have something that is not? This is of course the question. But do you have an answer? Seriously, do you have an answer? I don't have an answer. If you have an answer, let me know down in the comment, but I do not know. I do not have this answer.